Okay, we're going to take a look at an example related to solving a multi-step equation. And in this example it says, you have a savings account with $50. Each week you deposit $22 from your paycheck and $10 from your allowance. The equation A equals 50 added to the group 22 add 10 multiplied by B gives the amount A that will be in your savings after B weeks. How many weeks will it take to accumulate $300 in savings? Well, the first thing that we can do in this situation is write the equation with the $370 in the equation. Because the $370 is the savings, the amount, we're going to write the equation as 370 is equal to 50 add, and then in our group we have 22 add 10, and we're multiplying that group by B. Well, we have this value here, this value in parentheses, the 22 add 10, so we can rewrite the equation as 370 is equal to 50 added to a combined total of 32 multiplied by B. Well, remember, to solve this equation, we're trying to find how many weeks. We're trying to isolate the B variable. So let's go ahead and focus on the 50. In order to eliminate the 50, we can subtract 50 from both sides of the equation using the subtract property of equality. When we do that, 370 subtract 50 is 320. These two values are opposites. Their total is 0. Because additive inverses always give us 0. And then we have 32 multiplied by B, which is 32 B's. Well, 0 added to 32B is just 32B because of the additive identity, and so we can write this equation as 320 is equal to 32B. Now, if 32B's are equal to 320, then to find out what 1B's value is, we simply divide by 32 using the division property of equality. We divide both sides by 32 to maintain balance. When we do that, 32 divided by 32 is 1, so we're left with 1B is equal to, and 320 divided by 32 is 10. So we end up with a value of 10. Now if you think back to the original question, it said how many weeks will it take to accumulate $370 in savings? Our B value represents weeks, so the answer is 10 weeks. Okay, in this next example it says find the value of x. Remember that the sum of the angle measures of a triangle is 180 degrees. So let's go ahead and write that down. We know that the three angles combined measures is equal to 180, so I'm going to write that as the measure of angle A added to the measure of angle B, and I'm using the letter M to represent measure, added to the measure of angle C. Combined, those three measures are equal to 180 degrees. Well, in this diagram here, it shows us that the measure of angle A is 2x. So we're going to go ahead and substitute that in. So we have 2x for the measure of angle A. The measure of angle B shows us is 3x. And as far as the measure of angle C, well, it looks like we have a right angle in this corner of the triangle. So we will go ahead and write in 90 degrees. And combined, those three measures are equal to 180 degrees. If you look carefully, you'll see that the 2x in the first term is a like term with the middle term here, 3x. So when we combine those two terms, 2x's added to 3x's make 5x's. Add 90 is equal to 180 degrees. In order to isolate the value, we need to undo the add 90, and we need to undo multiply by 5. So let's focus with the add 90 first. To undo add 90, or to make 90 into 0, we subtract 90. Using the subtract property of equality, we subtract 90 from the other side to maintain balance. That gives us an equation of 5x added to 0 is equal to 90 degrees. 5x add 0 is just 5x, so I left off the 0 here. But just remember that the additive identity tells us that any value added to 0, that value stays the same. Now the last thing we need to do is determine the value of x. We have 5 x's that are equal to 90. So in order to determine the value of a single x, we need to go ahead and divide that 90 up into 5 groups. So we're going to go ahead and use the division property of equality, dividing both sides of the equation to maintain balance, by 5, which gives us 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we have 1x is equal to, and 90 divided by 5 is 18. So the value of x is equal to 18.